Hey y'all, so Bungie dropped a huge twid today going over a ton of upcoming changes to Destiny 2 in the upcoming episode Heresy. If you missed my stream today, here is me reading through each and every change coming to the game along with my overall thoughts on each change. Kind of a long one, but enjoy. This week in Destiny, we are talking about many things. With Heresy launching on February 4th in just 12 days, we want to show you what this new episode is all about. And also the changes coming along with it to weapons, armor, and game modes. So ready for another round of This Twit is a Monster? So ready. Tune in. Oh, there's a developer live stream. I wonder if there will be a Twitch emblem that will get broken. Read our PvP standalone article yet? I did, yes. An update on Heresy content delivery. Okay, weapon armor updates. New weapon rewards coming soon as old ones leave the rotation. Game to Give is kicked off. I will be doing a joint charity stream with my buddy Stadia Time tomorrow. Check our latest Bungie rewards, new Art of the Week and Movie of the Week emblems. Here we go. Prepare for our next developer live stream. Heresy is right around the corner, so we wanted to give everyone an in-depth preview of what is to come when it launches on February 4th. Our amazing developers are ready to tell you firsthand about the new activities, stories, and rewards they have been working on. Whoa, that's crazy art. January 28th. All right, well, I'll be streaming that here on Twitch on Tuesday. I'll see y'all there. Follow us on our official Twitch channel and tune in on January 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific to discover what Heresy brings to the table. Everyone watching the live stream on the 28th on the official Bungie Twitch channel for at least 15 minutes. That's very short. We'll get the Scorned Organ emblem as a Twitch drop. Classic. Perfect send-off for Revenant. Great. Wow, dude, look how tiny the scroll bar is. Good lord. Don't forget our other emblem available through Twitch at the moment. Yes, that is true. We have that live here. If you gift one sub or if you join with a fresh tier 1 sub, then you get the Golden Hour emblem. Almost said Golden Shower. A lot of people have earned that. GG. Kind of a cool, badass Southwest vibe. I dig it. New PvP and Trials of Osiris experience. This twid would have been the biggest one yet if the PvP wow, that big. If the PvP updates didn't end up having their own standalone article. Yeah, that was a good idea. In it, we covered many changes coming to the Crucible experience in general, and the competitive and Trials Osiris playlist in particular. We hope you are as excited about all changes coming as we were telling you. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good read. A lot of changes. Content delivery plans for Heresy. Okay. Something we wanted to share today is that Heresy will have weekly content and story delivery. We understand your concern about our return to this approach. But we've learned a lot from the all-in format in Revenant, so in Heresy, we're striking a balance between everything dropping on day 1 of an act versus meaningful reasons to log in throughout the episode. Okay. To that end, we made the vast majority of activities content available on the first day of an act, with said content evolving based on the weekly story. Additionally, each week will feature a seasonal challenge that rewards a new tier of seasonal weapon. Check out the live stream next week for the first look at this heretical arsenal. Got it. Okay, so new weapons next week. Or we'll learn about them next week. Without stepping into spoiler territory, we can also tell you that Heresy won't rely on a fixed length for each act like the previous episodes. For example, Act 2 will last 3 weeks instead of the standard 5 or 6. Wow, short. Additionally, all reprised weapons for the episode will be available at launch, while all the second half of episodic weapons will be when Act 2 launches. Okay. Our goal is to tell a satisfying and exciting story that both serves as an epilogue to the Light and Darkness saga and that helps pave the way for what is to come in Codename Frontiers, launching later this year. Okay. All right, that's going to be an interesting change. I wonder how that'll pan out. I could see that going well or going bad. Weapons and armor updates for Heresy. Oh, that was a short update on content delivery. Okay, fair enough. Now, the longest topic of the TWID, the weapon and armor preview with all the magnificent buffs and necessary nerfs as well as interesting reworks that are coming when Heresy launches. We're going to make a coffee pot, oh Jesus, and leave the room to the amazing D2 sandbox team BRB. Okay, armor time. Hunter. Sealed Ahamkara Grasps. They've tried to buff that before, and I just feel like no one really cares. Sealed AG have struggled on Hunter due to the large array of alternate reload options that Hunters already had access to. True. We've reworked its behavior to have a bit more exotic flair in terms of playstyle. Reworked with a weapon swapping focus to differentiate it from other Hunter reload exotics. Okay, perk description now reads as follows. Powered melee and finisher final blows grant nightmare fuel, increasing handling and airborne effectiveness. So it's like a shittier version of Ophidian? While active, freshly drawn weapons deal additional damage. Oh, never mind. And grant nightmare fuel on final blows. Gaining nightmare fuel reloads all holstered weapons. I wonder how much additional damage. That actually sounds pretty great. That actually sounds L next. Really? You think that's an L? I mean, depending on how frequently you melee, that could actually be kind of tight in PvP. I mean, Ophidian still seems better because it's always turned on, whereas with this, you need a powered melee. Yeah, that's odd because the better handling in AE are things that you want in PvP, but powered melee finishes and finishers are going to happen more in PvE. I'm very tempted for the additional weapon damage, though. I'll keep an eye on that. I don't know. Maybe it could be an L. It could be an L. We'll see. It could be interesting. The old Guisen vest. With the recent roaming super changes, we decided to give this exotic a bit of tuning to let it shine in its role, as well as giving some utility outside of the super. Now progresses its super returns on super hits as well as kills before becoming invisible. Improved the maximum possible super energy gain per return while also increasing the amount of progress needed for maximum gain. Now also emits a cloud of weakening smoke when you exit invisibility when near an enemy. Works both in neutral and when in super. Okay, that part is interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm not sure if that'll be enough to make people care about that, but I'll at least give it a try. I'm not sure if that'll be enough for people to put that on. It's so funny that some exotics are just, people just don't care about them. It's like, how strong can you make them to make people care? Renewal. Now that Frost Armor has settled in the sandbox, we feel that Renewal Grasp can safely be more generous in granting it. Okay. Doubled the rate of Frost Armor gain. Whoa. While in the enhanced Duskfield Grenade. Okay. Okay. That is interesting. I remember when they first changed Renewal, I did kind of enjoy using it. So that actually might be a decent buff. I'll keep an eye on. That might be good. Foe Tracer. While Foe Tracer offers an excellent way to increase one's damage, we found that the benefit is too brief when compared to other alternatives. Increase the bonus weapon damage duration from 10 to 15. Okay. Straightforward. Radiant Dance Machines. I forgot those were in the game. Radiant Dance Machines have been reworked to allow the multiple dodge charges that it grants to count as real dodges for the purposes of perks and aspects. The trigger mechanism for granting extra dodges requires more effort to compensate for that, but the overall change is a large increase in strength and utility. We have also added some flat benefits to primary weapons that are a real game changer for players who prioritize gun feel and performance when mobile. Improves airborne effectiveness and hip fire mobility, range, and accuracy for primary ammo weapons. Really? On a dodge or forever? I see. Multi-kills with primary ammo weapons refund dodge energy. When dodge energy is full, multi-kills grant extra charges. Powerful combatants and guardians count as more than one kill. That seems good for PvP. You know what this is? I'm going to tell you what this is. They're over at Bungie in a conference room with the lights dimmed down low. And they're like, okay, we have to offer them something. What can we do to make them take off stompies? What can we do? That's good, though. I think that actually sounds kind of decent. I would try that out for PvP for sure. Quality neutral game exotic armor with better accuracy and like all that sounds great. That sounds great. I'm checking that out for sure. Okay, relativism, Spirit of Galanor. With the ability to regenerate a roamer more quickly than ever, it was quite easy to end up chaining roaming supers back to back and effectively never need to rely on your weapons during activities. So to combat this, we are reducing the capability a little on the armor side, specifically for Silk Strike and Golden Gun. Okay, that makes sense. Reduce the maximum amount of energy refunded to 30 down from 50. Okay, sure. Fair. Spirit of the Foe Tracer. Spirit of the Foe Tracer has inherited the change made to Foe Tracer. Okay, so from 10 to 15 seconds for the damage buff. Okay, not bad. That's very interesting. Titan. Oh boy. Careful, Bungie. Careful. Let's talk about Titan Rampart. Titan's Ramparts was last adjusted to account for its problematic dominance in PvP. But that came at the cost of its value. Good. Across the game. In the current sandbox, we found that many of its downsides can be removed safely in PvE, even with the small buff that it gives in PvP without introducing those toxic play patterns. Okay. Removed several downsides applied by Assault Barricade to bring it in line with base towering barricade behavior. Cumulatively, these changes result in a towering barricade you can shoot through with no other downsides while Titans is equipped in PvE. Okay. All right. Increased barricade health from 4 to 500. No longer increases barricade cooldown. No longer decreases barricade duration. Further increased damage dealt to Titan barricade by Guardians from 125% to 160%. This results in near identical effective barricade health in PvP. Great. Great. Excellent. Okay, good. I love when they lean into like, okay, we don't want to, like if it gets shafted because of PvP, which is usually what happens. It gets shafted because of PvP and then all the PvE players are like sad about it, which I get, I understand. So changes like that are good. I like that. It's good. Eternal Warrior. Still don't care about it. We want Eternal Warrior to be an appealing option in both PvP and PvE for players interested in building into Fist of Havoc. We're giving it increased super duration on Final Blow, a nostalgic effect for longtime players that is thematically aligned with the exotic. Final blows with Fist of Havoc now grant extended super duration. Okay, but like how much though? But like how much more super duration though? Because this could range anywhere from I don't care to Jesus Christ. We'll see. Excuse me. Ursa Furiosa. Our recent changes to Ursa to integrate it with the unbreakable aspect have yet to encourage significant use. True. So we want to lean further into supporting Unbreakable by changing the energy returned by blocking with Unbreakable to be grenade energy. Blocking damage with Unbreakable now returns grenade energy instead of super energy. Grenade energy is returned at the end of Unbreakable and is scaled based on the amount of damage you blocked with it. Okay. That seems like it could maybe be broken somehow with the right build. That immediately leaps out to me at like, okay, I want to make an Ursa Furiosa build where the goal is unlimited grenade energy. The wheels are turning now. We'll come back to that later. That'll be for another day. Interesting, though. Kepri's Horn, ugliest exotic in the game. Kepri's Horn is getting a glow up. It will still cause your barricade to emit waves of damaging solar energy, but with this update, they have been significantly enhanced. Now it sends out 3 waves instead of 1. Whoa, okay. These waves no longer return towards the barricade. Oh, they only go out 1 time. Okay. Tracking on the waves has been enhanced. Tracking. So do they like curve? Combatants damaged by these waves are enveloped in a sunspot. Players are enveloped if they are defeated in PvP. Now requires a solar super to be equipped to create the flame waves from the barricade. That could be good, or who cares? There could be potential there. I'm not really sure if I would care about that in PvP, but for PvE that could maybe be interesting. I don't know if it would ever be like top tier, but interesting at the very least. Skullfort. As difficulty goes up, Skullfort can feel overly punishing when you fail to land the final blow its perk demands. To alleviate this issue, we are extending its effect to grant partial refunds from any melee attack to help rebuild that crucial momentum. Now grants energy to arc melee abilities when hitting targets with any melee attack. Amount granted varies based on the melee used. From most to least energy granted, powered melees, non-glaive unpowered melees while knockout is active, and unpowered melees including glaives. I don't know if I care, but good to know, I guess. Okay. Spirit of the Bear. Spirit of the Bear has inherited the changes made to Ursa Furiosa. Okay, good. Spirit of the Horn inherited the changes made to Kepri's Horn. Okay, that makes sense. On Thruster, Spirit of the Horn will now emit 4 waves in an X pattern. What? That's weird. Okay, that's... Do they track, or do they just kind of... It's weird. Okay. Moving on to Warlock. Storm Dancer's Brace. Much like Spirit of Galanor, we wanted to tune back how much returned energy was given for roaming supers via exotics. Probably a good idea. To compensate, we wanted to give Storm Dancer's Brace a little love in the potency granted to Storm Trance while you're in super. Double the damage benefit per stack of Ascending Amplitude, up to 20% per stack from 10%. Now also reduces the cost of Ionic Blink during super by 50%. Little Ionic Blink spam. Never hurt anybody. Reduced the maximum amount of energy refunded to 30, down from 50%. All right, that might be interesting. I'm not really sure if that'll be enough to make people care. Bruno is here. Bruno! What's up, dude? Geomag Stabilizers. Careful, Bungie. Careful. Part of the charm of Geomag Stabilizers was celebrating when it died, and no one wore it in trials ever again. No, was lost when sprinting to get super was removed due to PvP issues. With the introduction of Bolt Charge to the Arc kit, there was an opportunity to bring this experience back without breaking PvP. Good. Added a new perk. Sprinting while near max Bolt Charge will top it off. Starts at 6 stacks of Bolt Charge. Little top off there. Re-enabled VFX where boots spark. Good call. Near max Bolt Charge. Increased super energy gained from Ionic Traces from 7% to 2%? What? Increased super energy gained from Ionic Traces from 7 to 2? That's not an increase. Wait, do they mean 2% up, meaning from 7 to 9? Am I stupid? Am I... Oh, 2-7 from 2. I hate when they write it that way. I really hate when they write it that way. Go from, oh my God. From to 2, not 2 to from. Yeah, they worded it funny. Why would you word it like that? Increased super energy gained from Ionic Traces from 2 to 7. Don't write it the other way around. It's weird. It's not a typo. It's just they wrote it like it's. I don't like it. I don't like it. You're exposing my idiocy, Bungie. Cant filaments and spirit of filaments. Okay, that is a lot though. That's pretty decent for the Geomag. Pretty decent. As long as they don't end up breaking it in PvP, then we're good. If this comes back in PvP, Bruno, we're gonna have a discussion if this comes back in PvP. We just want to make sure you're paying attention. You caught me. Ever since anti-champion capabilities were expected to work with elemental verbs inherently, the filaments have felt like an exotic lost to the flow of time. That is true. Giving it a satisfying loop felt like a nice way to give the perk some love for both the base exotic and its spirit counterpart. Now gives class ability energy per kill when Devour is active. Class ability energy per kill. Okay. That could be fun for like certain builds. I mean, you could, in theory, have a ton of class ability energy. I'm sure someone will find a way to make a ridiculous build with that. I'll look into that. That could be either who cares, or that could be really fun. Speaker Sight. Oh boy. Speaker Sight paired with Ember of Benev allowed Warlocks to earn a massive amount of ability energy via the healing turret, even if they and their fire team were at full health. So true. Speaker Sight impact should be rooted in the actual healing of an injured guardian, so we are making a change to how the healing turret selects targets. Healing turret no longer targets allies at full health. Allies need some damage done to their shields to be an eligible target. I guess that's fair. Verity's Brow. Oh, I do love Verity. The Death Throws buff is quite potent, but it's easy to let it run out and lose all your grenade benefit. True. We have updated this exotic to bring it in line with how the similar Titan exotic Worm God Caress works. Stacks of Death Throws are now represented by a meter that decays backwards through each tier rather than falling off entirely when the duration... Oh, I like that. Now uses a meter to track Death Throws. New duration per tier. That's great. Oh, I really like that. That's a good change for Verity. Oh, man. That's a great change. Yeah, when one tier's duration elapses, the buff will downgrade to the next lower tier rather than expiring entirely. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to wear that helmet way more. Bonus grenade recharge per tier. Love it, dude. Absolutely love it. Okay, I'll try to make a Verity. I'll try to prioritize making like maybe a Verity build. I haven't done a build video in a while. Maybe I'll make one. Who knows? Exotic class item shared perks. Spirit of Verity. Gained bonus grenade recharge rate, but provides 50% of the base Verity's Brow exotic. I don't know why I jumped ahead. Speaking of Verity, the above changes extend to the exotic class item version as well. On top of that, we are also giving some more of the base exotic to the spirit of the version to help players build into grenade. Beautiful. Beautiful. Possible build video stuff. Fun times. Weapon time. Oh boy, here we go. Dude, we are only about 25% done with this fucking tweet. Okay. Aim assist. Oh, Jesus. Okay. This is interesting. Destiny's various aim systems are a foundational part of what makes Destiny's guns feel like they do, but they do not come without some edge cases. When using the controller input, we've taken a stab at trying to solve an issue where a quickly moving target crossing your vision could pull your aim. That's been the thing for years. Could pull your aim off your previous target by introducing a time-based component. We now weight aim assist against targets you've aimed at for a short time more strongly compared to brand new targets when a new target is introduced by crossing your reticle. That could be good or bad. Because let's say you're aiming in PvP at somebody at the back of the map, but then someone comes in at mid-range, a new target enters your crosshair, and they're focused on you. And maybe you're trying to focus on them because the other guy wasn't looking at you, but maybe the new guy is looking at you. This could go well or poorly. I hope well. I'm hoping this will be a good change. We understand that this is potentially a wide-reaching change, but have thus far been satisfied. Okay, if they've tested it and they feel like it feels good, great. Controller players, please let us know if you encounter any issue as a result of this change. Oh, believe me, I'm sure they'll let you know. Aiming at a target for a short time will prevent another target moving very quickly across your reticle from dragging your aim off it. Controller only. Cool. Great. Weapon archetypes and subfamilies. PvE damage tuning. We've tuned up some low-performing weapon families in PvE to bring the competition a bit closer together when you are selecting weapons to use. These changes should help a number of archetypes that have been in need of some love for a while. Scout rifles. 15% versus minors, 30% versus majors. That's a pretty good glow up for scout rifles. That's significant. 15% to 30%. Jesus. That's good. Scout rifle wielders rejoice. Auto rifles. 10% versus minors and majors. Okay. SMGs, 5% versus minors. Pretty small, but whatever. Additionally, we increased base magazine size by 10 to 15%. That is true. Sick. Okay. Small glow up, but we take those. Trace rifles, 20% versus minors. I don't really use trace rifles very often. Sometimes I do. If I'm using like a fun build built around like the wave splitter, that's kind of fun. Linear fusion rifles, 10% versus all combatants. Really? Oh man, I gotta talk to Mossy Max and a couple other people. Get Max on the phone. Somebody, get Max on the phone. We gotta talk about damage numbers. I yearn for a return to the linear fusion rifle meta. The children crave the LFR meta. Okay, glaives. Glaives have historically been a niche weapon type that has found it hard to break into mainstream usage. Yeah, I don't really care about glaives. In this update, we are applying a sweeping buff to many of the glaives' baseline stats and behaviors to remove some of their unwieldiness, and make them a more attractive and easy to use option. With these changes, the intent is that glaives become more agile and need to reload less often. Yeah, reloading is really a pain. Are effective at longer ranges and more forgiving, and are more impactful when completing their full melee combo. Significantly increased aim assist, aim magnetism, and damage fall off ranges across the board for all glaives. Improved glaive projectile hit registration. Increased the baseline effects at all stat values for handling speed, including shield ready speed and draw and stow speed, mag size, projectile speed, reload speed. Final hit of the melee combo deals double damage. This also inflicts much more flinch on PvE combatants. Oh boy. So Time and Jingleheimer are reading this right now and like foaming at the mouth, probably. Okay, that could be interesting. I like the idea of making glaives more appealing because I think they kind of suck. I don't want there to be a glaive PvP meta. That would be a lot, though. These would have to be really noticeable changes for a glaive PvP meta to overthrow like shotgun sniper fusion, right? That would have to be a big change. So for the time being, I'm welcoming this change with open arms. I don't think it'll F up PvP. Hopefully it just makes glaives fun in PvE. Aggressive frame fusion rifles. Yeah, if you get hit the third melee, yeah, for the melee combo, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about this stuff. This is what I'm worried about for PvP. But yeah, ag frame fusion rifles. Interesting. Only one aggressive frame fusion rifle exists within the game to date. That gun sucks ass. The Coriolis Force, issued back in Beyond Light. I so wish I could have been a fly on the wall in that conference room when they talked about making a fusion rifle with a horizontal spread. Just why? We'd like to give the Stub family a bit more love to try and sell its unique charged spread shot gameplay with a complete rework. Whoa. The original fired its pellets all at once, so its recoil felt shotgun-like. With the rework, we wanted to stay true to the fusion rifle performance of controlling your recoil over the burst. So we converted it to fire multiple bursts of pellets. Oh, like the Bastion? These shots suffer from damage fall-off much less than the conventional fusions to compensate for their widespread angle and let the player fire into packs of PvE enemies and still score multiple kills. This is sounding like a legendary Bastion. Don't worry, you won't have to get Coriolis Force on Europa if you want to try these changes out. New reworked ag frames with the new perk pools are coming in this episode. Ooh. Ag frame fusion rifles are now fire 3 bursts of 4 pellets. So not as much as Bastion. It's like a junior Bastion. In increasingly wide spreads. Archer, you've never heard of the horizontal? There's only one. Yeah, the Beyond Light fusion rifle. It literally fires in a horizontal burst. It's so terrible. Increased minimum damage when fully outside of damage fall-off range from 45 to 65%. Increased range fall-off start by 4 meters relative to normal fusions. Increased range fall-off end by 3 meters relative to other fusions. Increased damage versus minors and majors by 15% relative to normal fusions. Okay. I mean, I'll try it. Sure, I'll try it. To all 4 of you in the Destiny 2 community who really enjoyed that fusion rifle, sorry. But to everyone else, they got something here. Support frame auto rifles. We'd like to support more support frame autos in the future. Currently, their range stat is not especially desirable because of their unique projectile properties. So we took the opportunity to make range directly affect its healing performance by adjusting how far away the weapon can lock onto and heal an ally. No hesitation remains close to its original behavior with this change with the base stats. This change primarily affects perks and mods applied to no hesitation and opens more space for future support frames to differentiate themselves. Range now increases how far away you can heal another Guardian. Okay, sure. Rocket-assisted frame sidearms. Whoa. This is going to be bad. Rocket-assisted frame sidearms shipped particularly potent while also being easy to use. We reduced the reserves for these in Revenant to bring their uptime a bit closer to other special weapons. And with these changes, we are moving these into a more defined niche, keeping them potent within that niche, but being a bit less universally useful. Oh God, it's happening in all situations. With these changes, they should remain a viable ammo-efficient option for clearing minor, major, and champion tier targets with direct hits, without also being great at killing everything nearby the primary target. Oh boy. Reduced PvE detonation damage by 45%. Increased PvE impact damage by 100%. Reduced aim assist fall off and maximum distance by 8 meters. Reduced magnetism fall off and max damage by 8 meters. Reduced damage by 30% versus boss, vehicle, and mini boss targets. Buried Bloodline's body shot damage is unaffected. Critical hit damage is buffed. Thank you for not touching my child, the Buried Bloodline. I'm down. Buried Bloodline, we've got more work to do, baby. The range stat was vestigial. That's not a word. It probably is. Looking it up. We get it, Bruno. You went to college. Forming a very small remnant of something that was once much larger or more noticeable. Well, I learned something today. I lost my place. To the weapon subfamily. So we've removed it. They removed the range stat. Range masterworks and enhanced intrinsics will be replaced with something more appropriate. More appropriate than a range masterwork. Okay. Great. Exotic weapons. Lorentz Driver. Oh, you watch your ass here, Bungie. Watch your ass. I don't want this gun coming back at all. Lorentz Driver was once a terror in the Crucible. I already don't like this and has since caught a number of changes to its efficacy. I can read. Since then, it has struggled to compete in most activity types. We've made a few changes, oh boy, that will reward you for playing its bounty game successfully and keep it going into further encounters. Picking up a bounty tag now grants 1 ammo to the mag. Oh, I hate it. No matter what I read, I would have said that. Triggering Lagrangian site. I can't remember how to pronounce that. By picking up a bounty tag adds 6 ammo to the mag. It's like 6 but better. 6. Triggering the site by picking up a bounty adds 6 to the mag. The first time you trigger it, returns to adding 1 ammo per tag on extensions while the buff remains active. I don't know if I like that. I mean, we'll see how this goes. Right? If this comes back in PvP hardcore, mother of God, I will not be a happy boy. They're giving Lorentz Driver 66 ammo in the mag. It's not really, I don't think this will be a PvP thing too much. I mean, it seems like there's a way to potentially get around the ammo economy, maybe in PvP? Or am I on crack? I'm not sure. We'll see. Could be fun in PvE, though. And if that's the goal, terrific. I just don't like the way they open that sentence. I don't like it. Delicate Tomb. I haven't used that gun in a while. We made a few adjustments to Delicate Tomb to help it get into its Tempest Cascade loop a bit more predictably and give it significantly more punch when buffed. Increase the chance to make an ionic trance from minor combatants from 4 to 10%. Okay, that's how you word from blank to blank. There we go. Increased the PvE damage bonus on the Tempest Cascade shot from 30% to 100%. Whoa. Okay. Remove the timer from the Tempest Cascade. It lasts until fired. All right. Not bad. I'm kind of excited to try that, actually. It's kind of an interesting, cool-looking weapon. Oh, shit. Here we go. The big ticket item. Is everybody ready? The Darcy buff. Will this gun become usable? Darcy has long struggled to compete with its exotic brethren, so we are taking a stab at building a niche for it in a fire team the way G-Horn, and Ergo Sum have found their respective weapon types. This new catalyst should give you an edge up in encounters where snipers may not previously have been viable. Added a new catalyst perk, Networked Targeting. Hits with personal assistant active grant you and nearby allies improved overall weapon performance and precision damage with non-exotic sniper rifles. Interesting. Improves recoil, flinch, target acquisition, handling, and precision damage by how much? Stacks up to 5. Darcy also gets the buff itself. Darcy user also gets a plus 15% damage after granting 5 stacks to a teammate. I see. So it's literally Gallarhorn Sniper. But the difference between Darcy and G-Horn is that when you proc G-Horn, all the legendary rockets get a buff, which is good because legendary rockets are heavy weapons. But with Darcy, you're buffing special weapons, which, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tempting. I'll try it out for sure. I'll try it out, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be anywhere near as good as G-Horn. Edge of Action, Edge of Concurrence, and the Edge of Intent. Yes. The class exotic glaives have felt a bit clunky since their addition to the game. Yeah, they're not great. We've made some changes here along with the global changes to glaives, okay, that will help smooth over the gameplay loops on each of these, as well as additional neutral game value outside of the special shots. Special shot is no longer tied to glaive energy. Now triggered on 6 weapon hits to allow the special reload. Increments off both shots and melee hits. Okay. Edge of Concurrence. Effects of jolting feedback trait added to intrinsic perk. Edge of Action. Effects of destabilizing rounds trait added to intrinsic perk. Edge of Intent. Effects of incandescent trait added to intrinsic perk. Added Cure Pulse to special shot impact. Healing turret no longer targets allies at full health like the helmet, right? Allies need some damage done to their shields to be an eligible target. Okay, I mean, maybe I'll care about the exotic glaives. Who knows? I don't know. Centrifuge. Centrifuge's perk that reloads the mag while sprinting encourages pivoting and repositioning, but as it stands, the magazine is just a tad restrictive and sometimes feels burdensome in PvE. We've increased the mag size to increase the potency of this perk and let you keep the weapon's accumulated charge for longer before needing to reload. Increased mag to 45. Okay. That's all that gets. Okay. Dead Messenger, Hardlight, and Borealis. We're revisiting the exotic perk, the fundamentals, to modernize it a bit. Elemental keywords such as Restoration and Volatile have become a part of D2's modern fundamentals. The stat bonus based on current element has been removed in favor of a damage bonus when you apply or receive an elemental keyword matching your current element. Huh. We're also giving a small stat bump to Borealis since some high-skill PvP players have taken a liking to its current stat offerings. Cool guy, just like that sniper a lot. The fundamentals, new effect. Grants a 30% damage buff, 10% in PvP to the weapon for 10 seconds when you apply or receive an elemental keyword that matches the currently selected damage type of this weapon. Removed effect, no longer grants different stats based on the current element. Borealis only, increased ability by 20 and aim assist by 10 permanently. Oh, to give it basically the voice. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. This bonus was selected over Arc since there are more ways to gain handling. That is true. Great. Telesto. Overall, Telesto is a solid weapon, but it lacks a solid... You said solid twice in a row. You can't do that. It's illegal. High point in its power fantasy and does not interface with build crafting much. Additionally, the weapon has a unique dual identity as a weapon associated with the Awoken Harbingers in universe and associated with a storied history of Telesto-specific bugs in the community. True. With that in mind, we gave it a buff that embraces both aspects and ties them together in a single, deeply self-referential package. How do you buff Telesto? Make it more Telesto. Now only refills Telesto's ammo from reserves instead of Telesto and your kinetic slot weapon. Now triggers with any void final blow. Final blow requirement increased from 2 to 3. However, Telesto final blows count double. In other words, will trigger from 2 Telesto final blows, 1 Telesto final blow plus 1 other void final blow, or 3 other void final blows. Multi-kill timer increased from 2 to 4.5 seconds. Catalyst, new perk. After 3 activations of Harbinger's Pulse, special reload the weapon to cause a rain of Telesto projectiles on your next direct hit. Okay. You have my attention. That could be interesting. A rain of Telesto projectiles. What would that even look like? A rain, like... So you hit them and then the target like just erupts into like what? Yeah. I wonder if that would cause new game-breaking visual. Like if everyone did it at the same time, it's just like your screen just explodes with Telesto. 6 people on a fire team kill 1 person with, like the artifact perk. Yeah, the new one, right? All right, that's an interesting idea. We'll see how that goes. Telesto Fountain. Vex Caliber. With the buffs last season to Void Overshield's effectiveness, it seemed like the weapon could use a few tweaks to take maximum advantage and emphasize the Paladin Protector fantasy with its area overshield. We've made it easier to generate guard energy in PvE when wading through enemies and quicker to apply overshield to your allies. As a weapon made to hunt and kill Vex, we figured this was also a good opportunity to reinforce this theme as well. Triggering Perpetual Loophole by scoring a melee kill while your overshield is active now also fills your glaive energy to full. Significantly increases Void Overshield trickle on rate to nearby allies and yourself when guarding. Increased the potency of Vex Caliber's secret innate advantages against the Vex. Vex Caliber's secret damage bonus when striking with its projectiles against a certain enemy faction has been increased from 10 to 25% to match Wish Ender and Mouth. Okay, that's cool. Vex Caliber now briefly disorients non-boss Vex with its melee attack. Okay, all right, that's interesting. Oh my god, the Wardcliff Coil. You don't need to change this weapon at all. I love the Dul Inkaru Farmer. Wardcliff Coil is a classic weapon that is easy to use but lacks a niche in a lot of content. We want to double down on the thematic chaos with a tie-in with the new arc keyword Bolt Charge with Wardcliff Coil, which Wardcliff Coil will grant stacks of to all nearby allies when fired. This change should appeal to players who want to bring more firepower to their team without needing a game plan more complex than stand near allies, look at enemy, pull trigger. New intrinsic effect. Grants 1 stack of bolt charge to all nearby allies for every 2 rockets fired. 4 stacks per trigger pull. Okay, sure. Why not? I feel like a lot of exotics are going to get reworked in a little bit to get some playtime with the new bolt charge keyword, right? Queenbreaker. Talk about a gun I haven't used in forever. One of the most requested features for this weapon was to be able to special reload to swap between the scopes while in-game. We've added that functionality, along with some other changes to make each scope's firing mode feel unique. Players can special reload at any time to swap between scopes. That's actually a good change. Marksman Sight retains the previous behavior of firing a single shot that chains to nearby targets and blinds them. The range of the chain has increased from 8 meters to 10 to make chaining easier. Combat Sights now alters the weapon to fire a 3-round burst at a charge time of 533. Sustained damage on a target decreases the charge time of the weapon down to 300 charge time with no loss to damage. Useful for quickly dealing damage to bosses or other high health targets. Cool, all right. Interesting, all right. The scope that you select in the inspection screen will determine which scope is active by default when spawning into an activity. That sounds kind of interesting. That sounds kind of interesting. Yeah, not amazing, but definitely good. It's a gun I haven't used in forever. Please use the colony. Bad gun. The previous changes to the colony did some interesting things, but it still ends up losing to other grenade launchers due to its base gameplay and proximity detonation behavior. True. We've made a change to push this closer to other GLs in damage. Increased detonation damage by 40%. That puts its damage per shot a little bit above legendary drum grenade launchers. Increased number of bots spawned by 11? For all enemy tiers except players. Players 1, minor from 1 to 2, elite major from 2 to 3, champion mini boss from 5 to 6. Okay, I mean, puts the damage per shot above legendary drum grenade launchers at base. But if they have something like, you know, bait and switch active, pretty sure Colony will still lose. But at base, it could be fun. It could be fun to try it out. I'd give it a shot. I'd give it a whirl. I want that gun to be good. It's almost never good, but I want it to be good. Quicksilver Storm. The previous changes to this weapon were a little too much, so we've rolled them back some. Reduced shots required to trigger a rocket by 17%. All right, nice. Legend of Acreus. Acreus has long been a viable but particularly niche pick. With the shotgun changes doing well in the last release, we wanted to give this a bit of love in the same theme. Reduced spread angle by 33%. Okay. Increased maximum projectile range from 12 to 18 meters. That's pretty far for a shotgun. Good Lord. Okay. Well, sure. Great. I'll take it. Fuck it. Fourth Horseman. Fourth Horseman has also been a particularly niche weapon. We've made changes to help it excel at its mag dump weapon fantasy. Reduced the rate of fire slightly to give more control over wasting. But the fast rate of fire is what makes it funny. That's what makes it funny. You hit the trigger. And the guy in the Titan bubble is like, what the fuck just happened? Loads ammo from reserves to the mag per kill. I don't like it. You said dump. Hilarious. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun. Oh well. Maybe it'll be fun. Lord of Wolves. Oh god, no, please no. Hold on, wait a minute. Lord of Wolves has had a storied history of terrorizing multiple parts of the game and has caught a number of nerfs because of it over the years. With the release and success of Choir of One, we have taken a similar approach to redesigning this iconic weapon. Increased range, reduced base damage. Okay. Removed accuracy penalty from standard fire mode. Release the Wolves now triggers on hip fire instead of special reload. What the fuck? Fires full auto. Greatly increased damage and rate of fire. Oh, I hate it. Oh, reduced accuracy and range. Okay. I see. So it's like a trade-off situation here. Do you go for the more accurate, more ranged firing version that deals less damage? Or do you release the wolves and fire full auto from the hip for greatly increased damage? Okay. Willing to give that a try. That sounds very interesting. Just for the love of God, I don't want to go back to a Lord of Wolves meta in PvP. I've said that like 5 times today. I'm like, okay, Bungie, you can buff it, but don't make this thing come back in PvP on God. Boo-hoo. Are we howling in the chat? Shout out to one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. All right, everyone. Group howl. Ow! Catalyst. Reload speed and stability boosts are now built in. When Release the Wolves is active, dealing damage to targets scorches them. Really? Okay. When ADS defeating targets spreads scorch to nearby combatants. All right. That kind of... We group howl in the chat right now. Ow! Now that seems like fun. That actually really seems like fun. Free Scorch? Free Scorch. That's pretty tight. And again, Release the Wolves. All you just do is you just hip fire and you get free Scorch. That's fucking baller. I'm down. I'm down with that. Chat. Ow! Cloud Strike. Oh, God. Since Bolt Charge is about creating a devastating lightning bolt, it seemed appropriate to interweave that with Cloud Strike's gameplay loop. For Bolt Charge, abilities are the only way discharge max stacks unless you're behind a Striker Storm Keeps Barricade. These changes allow Cloud Strike to quickly build stacks, which can help bring back your melee abilities faster thanks to Bolt Charge or cash in quickly with an extra bolt charge lightning attack when paired with Storm's Keep. Added behavior to Stormbringer perk. Rapid precision hits create a lightning storm at the point of impact and grant a stack of bolt charge. Okay. Added behavior to Mortal Polarity. Good lord. Let me try that again. Added behavior to Mortal Polarity perk. First try. Precision final blows generate a lightning bolt at the target's location and grant a moderate amount of bolt charge. All right. Cool. All right. Sick. That seems like fun. I'd give that a try. Thunderlord. Since Cloudstrike was updated with Bolt Charge, it was only natural to turn our sights on the original Lightning Creation Menace. Oh my god, if they buff this in PvE, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Chat, no matter what, we have to push Thunderlord propaganda. It's the top DPS weapon! Tell everybody on LFG! It's a one phase on every boss! For Thunderlord, our goal was also to tie into what Thunderlord is already doing and reinforce its gameplay mechanic, which is generating lightning throughout sustained fire. Similarly to Cloudstrike, this means Thunderlord will be great at building stacks and melee ability energy, but also will get an extra kick with a bolt charge lightning attack when paired with Storm's Keep. Added behavior to Rain Havoc perk. Final blows with this weapon generate lightning strikes from above. Lightning strikes grant a stack of bolt charge. Excuse me. Strong against overload champions. Okay. More bolt charge integration. Tell everybody on LFG. Top tier DPS. Oh boy. Okay, moving on. Weapon perks. All right. Destabilizing rounds. Destabilizing rounds have been a bit behind its elemental brethren since initial release. We've given it a bit of love to narrow that gap and add some more value to each trigger. Now grants volatile rounds for 2 seconds if any targets are hit by the volatile burst. Oh, that's good. Reduced internal cooldown from 4 to 1.5 seconds. Wow. Damn, that's cash. Big day for destabilizing rounds. That's a big glow up for them. That's cool. All right. Feel like I want to make a void build now. All right. Oh boy, full court. Okay. With the release and popularity of area denial grenade launchers, we've gone back and added support for them on this perk. Now scales the detonation and burn damage of area. Okay, what that tells me is that they're making more area denial grenade launchers, which is great because I love area denial grenade launchers. Full court is like a weird perk. It's a very strange perk. I don't really fuck with it, you know. Ambitious Assassin. Remove time requirements on the perk to make it more comparable to Envious Assassin, as this perk requires you to use ammo for the weapons this perk is on. Removed both multi-kill and reload timers. Okay, sick. Area denial heavy. That would be really cool. An area denial heavy. That'd be sick. Flash counter. Flash counter had both a restrictive input timing and narrow activation condition that made it very difficult to consistently benefit from. Yeah. Additionally, Flash counter muddied our elemental rules by applying a weaken and slow off the void element and stasis with 2S. You gotta say it like stasis element. We've opened the activation condition to trigger a blast in front of you while guarding against any damage, increased the damage of the blast, and made it disorient combatants. Rework to read taking damage after guarding emits a disorienting blast. I'm interested. No longer requires a timed input or melee to trigger. Deals moderate damage in a large cone in front of you. Disorienting combatants. I'm kind of into that. That sounds fun. I'd try that out. I don't know if it'll be like hard meta or something, but that sounds kind of fun. I'm down. Stasis mom has got it going on. Draw, oh coward. Are we doing palindrome shit now? Our PvP-focused article shed some light on the Trials competitive and Iron Banner rewards you will be getting with Heresy. So how about we tell you about the weapons coming in our ritual activities? We have a legend with a renewed spark. The remaining element for legendary rocket sidearms and also a sword that is neither a blade nor from Redrix's arsenal. Nightfall, Lotus Eater, Void rocket assisted sidearm. Nice. Nice. I mean, even with the nerf, I hope the nerf isn't that bad, right? Knock on wood. Third column, strategist, feeding frenzy, well-rounded, shoot to loot, beacon rounds, reconstruction. Fourth column, one for all, redacted, high ground, reverberation, frenzy, junkie. All right. Palindrome. So this is... Oh, arc adaptive hand cannon. That they changed it from void to arc? Why? Oh, you know what? I think I know why, actually. We are getting the Exalted Truth. So this now makes more sense to me because they were teasing the palindrome on Twitter, and I was thinking to myself, why would you bring back the Exalted Truth, void hand cannon, 140 RPM, and palindrome, void hand cannon, 140 RPM, both designed to succeed in the Crucible? Why would you bring back both in the same episode? It's like overlap, right? So they're changing it to arc. Very interesting. I don't know if I'm happy about that or sad about it. I don't know. I don't think I ever really used it. I mean, I used it in PvP a ton, but I don't think it didn't matter to me that it was a void hand cannon. I used palindrome in PvP because it was sick, because it was juiced on paper and extremely good. I don't think it matters to me if it was void or arc. Closing time. Elemental capacitor, explosive payload, redacted, outlaw to the pain. Excellent. Magnificent howl. So fucking both Exalted Truth and palindrome are being blessed with mag howl. This is crazy. Closing time mag howl. Okay, Bungie, you have my attention. This is very interesting. So Exalted Truth has Lone Wolf mag howl, and palindrome has Closing Time mag howl. Or you can do Closing Time opening shot, or you could do, this is very interesting. I mean, either way, classic weapon, juiced on paper. You better believe I'm going to farm for that weapon. Wonder what the redacted is. Third column, reconstruction, envious arsenal, slice, demo, field prep, tracking module, sympathetic arsenal, impulse amplifier, ambitious assassin, Discord danger zone overflow. Fourth column, chain reaction, explosive light, redacted, bipod, cluster bomb, quick draw, lasting impression, adrenaline junkie, reverberation, desperate measures, high ground, hatchling. Now, Discord on a rocket launcher is really interesting. Bruno says the new rocket launcher should have clown cart, not Discord. What? This? Ah. Okay. I was like, wow. Bungie's really fucking cooking, dude. I was like, they're really cooking with that. Discord rocket launcher? What are they doing in that testing room? Yeah, fuck it. What if we just gave a rocket launcher Discord? Do it. It'll break the met. Just do it. All right, well, too good to be true. Too good to be true. Bruno, if you're still in chat, I have a message that I would like for you to deliver regarding my feedback on the change of taking Discord off the rocket launcher for all. We had a 20-second dream. Here's the message I would like for you to relay to the team. If you could, I'll leave it up so you can memorize it real quick. Send that to the team. Don't do that. But tell Merc I said hey, because I love Merc. Backfang, Arc Rapid Fire Glaive. Boo! Although with the glaive rework, it might actually be fun. Impulse Amplifier, Beacon Rounds, Redacted, Grave Robber, Immovable Object, Tilting at Windmills. That sounds like every glaive ever. Shot swap, steady hands, replenishing Aegis field prep, led from gold. Mulligan. Mulligan. Are there a lot of glaives with Mulligan? I don't know much about glaives. I just don't care about them. Fourth column, redacted, volt shot, swashbuckler, surrounded, unrelenting, wellspring, vorpal weapon, unstoppable, force close to melee, desperate measure, adagio, junkie. Well. I mean, I'll get it just to get it in the event that glaives suddenly become a thing I care about. I don't know. Void heavy burst pulse rifle. Third column, closing time, demo, dragonfly, killing wind, gut shot straight, lone wolf, pugilist, enlightened action, rewind rounds, repulsor brace, strategist, shoot to loot. I mean, you had me at closing time, right? But closing time and lone wolf in the same column? Come on, what are we doing here? Fourth column, junkie, desperado, desperate measures, desab, withering gaze. Withering gaze. Head seeker, high impact reserves, under pressure, one for all, swashbuckler, redacted. Zen moment. Withering gaze is interesting. More weapons leaving soon. To make room for some of these new weapons, others have to leave the pool. Good. We've already told you about some of them, so here are the remaining ones. While you can still focus them on their respective vendors, their adept versions won't be available and you won't get them to drop from the activities, so don't miss the opportunity of getting them now. Nightfall, Undercurrent. Last week, January 28th. Trials of Osiris, the Prophet. Everyone make sure you get the Prophet. Insert that picture of me, like, you know that meme of the dude from, what was it, like the Flash TV show? He's like by the grave, like the tombstone. Bye, Prophet. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Iron Banner, Reese Walker, last week 123. Lethal Abundance, last week 123. That's all the major game-related stuff in the TWID. If you want to read the rest of it, I'll link it down in the pinned comment. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.